A rising number of stores and malls are closing across the country. The retail industry has been struggling, and the pandemic continues to cripple their bottom line. Nichelle Medina reports from Los Angeles and shows us how it's causing a change in the way they do business.
A popular tourist attraction in the heart of Hollywood is about to be transformed. The famed Hollywood and Highland Mall will undergo a $100 million makeover.
Even before COVID hit, we still had these plans of this $100 million renovation. And I think for us that we've seen that this is probably more important today than it even was a year ago.
Shopping malls nationwide were struggling and closing even before the pandemic. Now, a rising number are being pushed to the brink.
Last year, a record 9,800 stores shut down. This year, Coreside Research predicts that number to more than double to 25,000, and nearly 60% will be in a mall.
Not only have we seen extinction at an unprecedented pace, but I do unfortunately believe that it will continue.
Deborah Weinswig of Coreside Research says high-end malls will likely survive because luxury retail tenants have higher profit margins. Malls with lower-priced stores and more vacancies face the highest risk of closure.
They may survive as something else, but they won't be a traditional mall.
It's our belief that with change comes opportunity.
Developers of the Hollywood and Highland project are redesigning the 5-story complex and renaming it Ovation. There will be less retail and more entertainment and events. About a third of the complex will be transformed into offices on the upper floors. Another third will be dedicated to dining.
We have kind of this outside dining al fresco area.
It's hoped that after the pandemic, the open and inviting model will attract locals, tourists, and millennials.
It's really on us as a developer and as an owner to set that stage for brands to figure out creative, innovative ways to showcase what they do.
Reimagining retail, an idea malls hope consumers will buy into. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Gap and Banana Republic stores will be moving out of malls. Gap Incorporated plans on closing 350 Gap and 130 Banana Republic locations by 2024. The company plans to shift to more e-commerce business.